bistro.
What we like to call food for thought.
I love it. Welcome to another episode. We have our special guest, Patricio
Hola.
Contreras from Mexico. And we're going to show you how to make, what are we showing them what to make?
Contreras.
Did I say Contreras?
Sí. ¿Por qué has dicho Contreras? Yo pensaba que era un chiste.
Sí, yo también dije, no, por eso dije, nuestra pizza.
Se ríe como diciendo, no, mira qué gracia.
La Mali Contreras no tiene nada que ver, pensé que era que...
Take two.
That's fine.
Take two. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another episode. We have our special guest, Pato, who's here.
Hola.
From Mexico. He lives in Austin, but and he's actually a chef. So yeah, what are we making today? What are we, Iñaki? Why don't you share with them what we're making today?
Well, this is all my idea to create ceviche from two different countries, and it's interesting that something called ceviche could have so many different interpretations, and we have the Peruvian interpretation here and the Mexican, but not just the entire country of Mexico, a very specific location in Mexico, which is...
It's either between Colima or Nayarit. They have a feud over...
On the coast.
On the coast. They're both on the coast, but they both have a feud. And even Jalisco is throwing themselves in there. They have a feud who owns this version of dry ceviche. So it's a very dry... You'll see.
Totally different. And this is not a competition because it's not really the same thing. It's completely different.
And I would lose again because obviously Patricio is a chef. Patricio Contreras is a chef.
Patricio Contreras, the chef. I'm looking forward to tasting these things.
Yeah, me too. Should we try?
I'm looking forward not to trying them.
Oh yeah, and Iñaki doesn't like
because
fish.
I don't eat raw fish.
Or onions, or, you know, he just doesn't like...
I think that tostada is the only thing I traditionally eat there, but I'm willing to make an exception and try it.
We are actually going to try it.
Yes, awesome.
All right, let's go for it.
I have no idea where to start.
Do we...
Again, because exactly, this is a tostada thing, so I would just kind of take a, you know...
I've been keeping my eye on the...
piece of it like that, and then just...
avocado.
Oh,
see,
yeah,
and the tostada's still crispy, so we can still have it almost like a...
You're gonna see a avocado cream in the making that you're gonna learn how to make as well. It's good.
So good.
Stuff.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
You like it?
No. I mean, when you bite it, you're gonna get a lot of juice. It's just not, it's not gonna, it's contained in the ingredients, but
That's
it's not.
crazy. How is it inside of it? And,
It's
and it feels so moist.
so you still, I don't know if you can hear on the camera, but you can definitely still hear that little crackle on the tostada.
crunching. Yeah.
It's really good. I don't know if you noticed, I tried.
Did you really try or you faked it? Did you take out stuff?
No.
Because last time he tried
He's
something
going
with
in.
lettuce
I'm going.
I'm going in. Yeah, I have a witness.
He's going in.
Make sure you put a little bit of the Serrano there. It's really good.
I have it.
I have to
Very
say.
nice.
All right, should we try the Peruvian?
A crowd pleaser, you can just make a big bowl and then have a packet of tostadas by the side, and then everybody can help themselves. So it's sort of a very informal but yet delicious thing. That you
And
can
it's
do.
actually very easy to make because
The most complicated thing you'll see is marinating
the fish.
the fish. That's about it.
Very good. Very good.
Look at you! I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
Nice.
Good job. Do you want to try the other one now?
That's why I see him hesitating a
He's
little
like,
bit, but I will. But I know, very different to the Mexican version, this is supposed to be eaten by itself, right? Like that. You don't want to contaminate
Do you need a knife or do you just
the delicious
grab
flavor
a piece
with
of fish?
One.
One fish?
Well, mix it with the camote, the sweet potato, and the
Okay, so
the
I want
corn.
to, okay, let me see. So I want to cut off a little bit of this. Okay, got it.
There you go.
I'm building the perfect bite here, so
Yeah, you have to combine
bear with me.
the...
Okay.
There you go.
So
Oh,
I've got
there it goes.
I've got probably a very good bite here.
Yeah.
Let me see.
And how close to the Peruvian taste?
How? Yeah, because of course ingredients are a little bit different.
You like
So
it?
different.
Yeah.
How is it?
Delicious.
Good.
You got that big piece of fish, which is obviously the star ingredient, but then the sweet potato adds a completely different flavor to the Mexican version. Right? But still you get a little bit of the spice. I love it.
You have to try it. This is yours?
Yeah.
Oh, look at him. He's suffering. No, don't suffer. It's actually really good.
It is really good.
No, I'm sure it's very good, but I don't usually eat.
No, you need the fish?
Yeah,
He's looking for the smallest piece, probably.
And without the onion.
Where is that? Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. This
Go,
is perfect.
go. This is big. This is a big deal. Woo!
And would
Oh my God, he likes ceviche.
It's spicy. The lemon makes a big difference. I mean, I'm comparing with the other one, not
It's
because
very
we
different,
are competing to see which one is better. I'm just saying, when you compare the flavors, you could never tell that this is actually named the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Very.
So you would eat it?
And so
I'm done for the next 20 years.
Is this something you would eat with a spoon? Is the Peruvian version something that you would maybe just eat with your spoon, or you don't want too much lime in there?
Some places serve it like that, but yeah, that's exactly it. You don't want too much lime in it.
And
Look at you.
If I'm correct, this is an appetizer or a first dish. This is
it's not the main course.
It's not the main course.
And it's both are from the coast, so that's obviously you want the fresh catch. And actually, we've learned that here in Austin, the place that we go to has fresh fish that they catch in Mexico, and then they bring it in the morning. And nice. I was debating with Iñaki. I was like, "There's no way that that's an option," and it actually is. They fish it really, really early, drive it here, and here it is.
And here it is today. Nice.
All right.
But this is a dish that is based on very simple ingredients. This is what fishermen used to put together for a quick dinner at home, without many resources. And the word simple stuck to me. And I found this quote that says, sometimes simple is harder than complex. And Steve Jobs said that. And I'm very inspired by it. And I would like to know what are your reactions to simple sometimes is harder than complex?
What's coming up for me is, I read a book recently called Essentialism. And it's this whole thing around less but better.
Less but better.
And so simplicity in this context, as I want to sort of bring it back to the kitchen context, simplicity in this context is like just really good things, fewer things, like just better. So you might as well, make a simple ceviche, but try to get the best ingredients that you can. And so if it involves going to that little market where you're going to get the fresh fish brought in from wherever, those little simple things, when you think about less but better, you immediately start simplifying.
When we travel around the world, we simplify the things that we own, and we kind of stuck the idea in our head that we don't need a lot of things. And I'm very proud of that. I think we have embraced this idea of simple living where, of course, we are surrounded by consumerism. And I don't think we need it. So I think we have reached a very interesting point on that area.
Yeah.
The star ingredient, you'll see how this came to be the way it is, but this is already marinated and ready to go. So it's minced tilapia, I think it was, or no? Sole. So it's minced sole. You want to get a really white fish, that's usually the best fish. See the difference in color, right? So we'll get there. We're also using cilantro, we're also using onions, but this is finely diced rather than white. See? So same ingredients, just different technique in terms of cutting. I'm adding cucumber and tomatoes as well.
As dry as possible, right?
As dry as possible.
From watching you make it.
There's no juice actually in that little, right? There's no juice in you don't want all of that juice in the cucumber either. And finally, texture and color, also a little bit of grated carrot. Very finely grated. So we'll see how this all comes together. But that's it.
And then
obviously,
you have your Serrano pepper.
Exactly. You can't have a Mexican dish without some spiciness. And so I've just cut them up so that we can garnish. But if you really like spicy, you can just dice them as well as the cucumber and then just add it in there. So if all your family likes spicy, you can combine everything.
And finally, one last thing that you're gonna do, and you're gonna see how to make it, is what is it? What do you call it? An avocado foam?
Yes, so we're gonna do like a little chefy trick, but the garnish traditionally is just avocado. So we'll put some slices on it because it gives it a creamier taste. But then we just decided to make a little experiment with some avocado cream that you'll see.
When you're cutting delicate things, especially, you want to let the knife do the work. So back and then forward, back and forward. Always. So you're not actually chopping it like down, you're actually cutting across, which makes it a lot easier to cut. So we put it in a crystal bowl. Now make sure you use a crystal bowl because you're going to put lemon in it, and lemon sometimes reacts with other metals like aluminium or copper. So crystal bowl, because we're going to add the lime here.
¿Cuánto le pones?
Just enough to cover it, so enough to cover the fish, and that's it. The only way to cook things is if you apply heat to them, and this is not applying heat to anything. So think of it as curated or marinated. And it's ready. See, you don't need a lot of lime. As soon as you see a little bit of the water there, that's it. That's enough.
So this is a ceviche. If you saw that I've minced the fish, I also want small pieces for my tomato. I don't want it to have like a very small minced fish and then a chunk of tomato.
So a couple of things why I leave the chile for last. One, the board's gonna get spicy, my hands are gonna get spicy, it's gonna be a mess. You can use a plastic glove so you don't get your hands spicy, but you can wash them later. So once I'm done with this, I just wash the board. It's about the 20-minute mark. I'm checking for my fish right here. See, you can tell it's all mostly white at this point. You can see just a little bit of the speckles of still like pinkish, but this is ready. See, most of it is white. I'm gonna leave it for 5 more minutes just to get those little more of the pinkish to be all white, but this is about ready. Ceviche is ready. I don't want it to marinate anymore. It gets very lemony if it does, so you don't want to leave it out too long. See, it's all white. Now I want to strain it. I don't want that much juice, so take a normal strainer and just strain out all of the excess lime. Fish ready. The elaborated part about the ceviche is just marinating the fish and mincing it. That's literally it, because all you do after that, once it's marinated, see how dry that is? There's no lemon on the bottom. Is just mix all of the ingredients. So I'm going to start with the tomatoes. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons and then just see how that is. I'll put the recipe like for measurements in the bottom, but you also want to develop a feel to this. So that looks about right, maybe a little bit more. Okay, see, now you've got a nice mix of white and red. Hazel?
Like the Peruvian flag.
Right, like how does this look to you? Right?
Fantastic.
Good mix. So it's important to develop like eye for not just
by measurement.
Exactly, nice by measurement. And then
it's all about balance and
carrot is sweet, exactly. Carrot is sweet, so you don't want to overdo the carrots. I'm just gonna go with 1 tablespoon of carrot. Oh, Like, don't be afraid. So see,
It's
this is more
actually
salt.
delicious.
And so that's as far as I'm gonna go with salt. What do you think, Hazel?
It's perfect.
Right? Perfect, okay.
Déu i ajuda em va costar acostumar-me a dir footing, perquè així de cop i volta ara se n'hi digui running. I és que tot amb un plegat, ben llampants i ben lluents, ara corren amb ramat i equipats fins a les dents. Si voleu parlar en anglès, endavant, que no ha estat res. El que és segur que no perdrem és l'accent del Penedès. After beates, tore orsai, tu per pare, això rai, ja podem dir fermament que ens hem begut.
So that would be the traditional, right? Now we decided to get a little creative with avocado, because avocado with its fat and its beautiful color lends itself to a whole bunch of things that you can do. So I love avocado. We're gonna do, you'll see the clip of the cream that we made, and there'll be instructions on how to make this, but we've got just a regular whipped cream canister. We make some avocado with some cream. And, you know, we're gonna make this a little bit more presentable, beautiful.
Órale.
And then, yeah, maybe a dollop of cream. Maybe you wanna still get your cilantro there. And again, I use these for two reasons. One is you can get very delicate in where you place things, but also if I'm handling chile, you don't have to get your hands spicy. But see, you can get really delicate where you put your things. We can actually put a couple just like around the base, so we have a lot of spicy.
Start with fish, which is the main protagonist. Pato will mention to you in a minute how he used the fish. But in this case, we have red snapper, and I'll add a list of all the fish that you can find in different parts of the world. Cut into little cubes like this. And then we are going to be adding lime, which is what curates the fish, right? It's not about
cooking, exactly. It's about
curating.
Exactly. And so I love these recipes because we're basically using a lot of the same ingredients now.
That's true.
And so Hazel is already taking some of what I'm going to be using as well. So.
Yeah, and then for the lime, we try to squeeze only the middle part of the juice, so it's the purest part, because the white part becomes a little bit more bitter. So we want to keep it just as pure as possible. We're going to just garnish and top it off, or actually mix it, bring together some peppers and some cilantro. In Peru we use ají limo, but I couldn't find it, so we went with manzano pepper, which probably not as good as Peruvian peppers, but hey, we'll do with Mexican stuff. We'll have to deal with that.
It'll be a little more spicy, but that's good because we like spicy.
And lastly, but not least, is onions. And they're cut up like this. We call these feathered style, or what do you call it in Mexico again?
Alitas,
Alitas.
wing style. Like
wing style,
wings.
yeah. Plumas or alitas to go and come together with the fish. So that's the Peruvian ingredients.
The trick for finely dicing. One, you want everything to be really, really dry. So if you wash them, leave them out to dry for a while until they're completely dry. You don't want to have moisture. Now the other thing that you want to do, if you want to fine dice, now this is cilantro. You don't need to take the stems off because these are not bitter. You can actually put everything together. And so to get a really fine dice, just make a little twirl and then just bunch it up as tightly as possible. See? Make like a little ball. There we go. Once you've made that, and then obviously you put your hands there so you don't cut yourself. And just start slicing.
És l'accent del Penedès. After beates, tore orsai, tu per pare, això rai, ja podem dir.
For the Peruvian ceviche, we are cutting them into cubes. Now, it's important that your hands are not grabbing the fish too tightly because you don't want to make the fish too warm. So the least you can touch the fish while you're cutting it, the better.
I
I like it spicy. So I am going to be leaving the seeds. Maybe you don't like it as spicy and then you take out the seeds. Like this. That's so pretty. This could go on top of it. Okay, so we have a cold bowl because we want to make sure that the ceviche is always served cold. We're gonna add our fish. This is a very, very simple dish. And then this is something I learned from Gaston Acurio, who is one of my heroes when it comes to chefs. He's an amazing chef in Peru. Just to add a little bit of ice so that you keep the fish cold.
That's nice.
Yeah, isn't that a cool trick?
And you had the bowl in the freezer, right?
Yes, I had the bowl in the freezer. So I'm going to start adding the lime juice. You start adding little by little. As Pato was saying, you have measurements, but in the kitchen is really all about, you know, developing an eye for the ingredients to see how are they coming together. Like, that's actually pretty good. The beautiful thing about this, as we were talking earlier, it's that the lime is there to help cure the fish, not cook it. So you could actually eat it right now.
Black Fridays, Halloween's, i els smartphones ja n'estic fins als collons. De Black Fridays, Halloween's, i els smartphones.
Okay, so in Peru we serve with sweet potato, and I learned that it is because it can be a very spicy dish. So sweet helps whenever you eat something that is really spicy. And so does this kind of corn. It helps kind of like offset it. But I also think it's a nice way of bringing the sea and the ocean and the earth together. I don't know, maybe there's some of that. I've also read that. It seems like nobody really can agree on where things come from, why things happen.
And is this warm or is this?
Cold.
Okay.
It's totally cold. So
everything has to be cold.
Thank you. So it's all been boiled, but it's all cold because again, it's a really cold dish.